I'd like to call this meeting of the Sandy Springs City Council to order for Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026. Will the city clerk please make the announcements and call the roll?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a reminder to everyone to keep your cell phones on silence during the meeting. Also, individuals who would like to provide a public comment at a city council meeting are required to complete and submit those public comment cards in advance of the meeting. I also want to note that tonight we're live streaming on a different site. I've updated the website to show the live stream links. In case you get any texts or questions about it, they can check the website for the updated link. As I call roll, please confirm your attendance. Mayor Rusty Paul.
Present.
Councilmember John Paulson.
Here.
Councilmember Melody Kelly.
Present.
Councilmember Melissa Mueller.
Here.
Councilmember Frank Roberts.
Here.
Councilmember Mary Ford.
Here.
Councilmember Andrew Chinsky.
Here.
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment cards?
No, we haven't received any public comment
All
cards
right,
this
we'll
evening.
close the public comment period. Is there a motion to approve the meeting agenda?
Mayor Paul.
Mr. Paulson.
I move approval of the meeting agenda for Tuesday, June 3rd, 2026.
Second. Second. June 2nd.
That's what, didn't I say that?
You said third.
Second.
Okay.
It's right here.
And you second the motion
second.
of the second, right?
Yep.
Okay, we're clear now. So we have a motion by Mr. Paulson, seconded by Mr. Roberts, that we approve the meeting agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. The question is on the meeting agenda. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The meeting agenda is approved. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Mayor Paul,
Ms. Mueller.
I move that we approve the consent agenda for Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026.
Have a motion by Ms. Mueller, seconded by?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Ford. Any discussion on the consent agenda? Hearing none, we'll call the question. The question's on approval of the consent agenda. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The consent agenda is approved. Moving to public hearings, the clerk will please read the first item.
This is agenda item number 2026-152, and it's consideration of an ordinance to provide for the adoption of a budget, its execution, and effect for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2026, and ending June 30th, 2027. That's FY 2027. This is the first of two public hearings.
Ms. Freeman, anything?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor and members of council. Just a couple of things to bring to your attention. The line item detail that is in your packet tonight is unchanged from what was presented to you in last Tuesday's work session as the formal proposed budget. However, we have taken the opportunity to go back and do an analysis to determine as best as we could how much of our funds that are being proposed for appropriation in this public hearing tie directly back to council's priorities. Caroline, if you would please pull up that slide. So our general fund budget that is before you tonight is $170.4 million, roughly, with an all funds budget of $1.089 billion. Again, to remind our residents, that is still the same tax rate since incorporation. We have no proposed tax increases, no fee increases. When you look at the numbers and how we break down our investments, public safety has been our number one priority since the incorporation of the city, and this budget still reflects that commitment by City Council. Following behind that, not so closely, but second, and obviously very important to our residents and to our council, is transportation and community appearance, then recreation and cultural enrichment, followed by sustainable growth and environmental stewardship, then customer service, citizen engagement, and innovation. And a note about that, and the footnote is very important for this because multiple priorities are interwoven within each of these areas. You could make, and I would make the argument that customer service, citizen engagement, and innovation actually underpins everything that we do within each of these priority areas. And you all have seen that by the innovative programs that we've brought forward in each of these areas, but in particular with the police department in the last year, with the bringing online our Sandy Springs Intelligence Operations Center, and with the fire department's implementation of the drone as the first responder program, among many others. Economic development and redevelopment, and then finally water reliability is also one of council's priorities. Again, public safety and transportation have been the majority of our investments since we were incorporated as a city, which you just heard in our work session presentation, with 56 miles worth of sidewalks being built by the city since we were incorporated. One of the opportunities that we are going to take this next year is to have a better tie-in so that when departments are preparing their budgets, they're looking at which would be their primary priority, followed by the secondary priorities that are supported with their request. Again, no vote tonight, but I am happy to answer any questions that you may have.
All right, let me ask, do we have any public comment for the public hearing?
We have not received any comments.
All right, we will then close the public comment portion of the public hearing. Does council have any questions? All right, we'll hold another public hearing at our next meeting, and then we will vote after that on the budget.
Yes, sir.
All right, moving to the clerk, please read the next item.
This is agenda item number 2026-153. That's ABL number 28466. Consideration of an alcoholic beverage license application for Dagwood's Pizza and Deli, doing business as Dagwood's Pizza and Deli at 7746 Spalding Drive, Sandy Springs, Georgia, 30092. The applicant is Devang Patel for consumption on premises, wine and malt, presented by Revenue Manager Corey Holiness.
Ms. Holiness.
Good evening, Mayor Paul and City Council. This is a change of ownership alcohol license for District 1 for consumption on the premises of wine and malt beverage, Dagwood Pizza and Deli, DBA Dagwood Pizza and Deli, 7746 Spalding Drive, Sandy Springs, Georgia, 30092, located at Spalding Drive at Spalding Corners. The applicant, Devon Patel, has met all requirements, and staff recommends approval.
All right, do we have any public comment cards? All right, we'll close the public comment period. You've heard the report of the revenue manager. What's the desire of council?
Mayor Paul.
Mr. Paulson.
Move approval of agenda item 2026-152, an ordinance to provide, 2026-153, alcoholic beverage license application for Dagwood's Pizza and Deli, doing business as Dagwood's Pizza and Deli at 7746 Spalding Drive, Sandy Springs. The applicant is Devang Patel for consumption on premises wine and malt liquor.
A motion by Mr. Paulson. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Paulson, seconded by Dr. Kelly, that we approve agenda item 2026-153, an alcoholic beverage license application for Dagwood's Pizza and Deli. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. The question is on agenda item 2026-153, the alcoholic beverage license application for Dagwood's Pizza and Deli at 7746 Spalding Drive, Sandy Springs, Georgia. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The item is approved. The clerk will please read the next item.
This is agenda item number 2026-154. That's ABL number 123804. This is consideration of the alcoholic beverage license application for Arabian Nights LLC, doing business as Arabian Cafe, 8347 Roswell Road, Sandy Springs, Georgia, 30350. The applicant is Lucas Boutrous for consumption on the premises of beer, wine, and distilled spirits, also presented by Revenue Manager Corey Holiness.
Ms. Holiness.
This is a new alcohol license for District 1 for consumption on the premises of wine, malt beverage, and distilled spirits. Arabian Nights LLC, DBA is Arabian Cafe, 8347 Roswell Road, Sandy Springs, Georgia, 30350. And the applicant, Lucas Boutrous, has met all requirements, and staff recommends approval.
Any public comment cards?
None.
All right, we'll close the public comment period. You've heard the report of the revenue manager. What's the desire of council?
Mayor Paul.
Mr. Paulson.
I move approval of agenda item 2026-154, alcoholic beverage license application for Arabian Nights LLC, doing business as Arabian Cafe at 8347 Roswell Road. The applicant is Lucas Boutrous for consumption on the premises of beer, wine, and distilled spirits.
Have a motion by Mr. Paulson. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Paulson, seconded by Dr. Kelly, that we approve agenda item 2026-154, the alcoholic beverage license application for Arabian Nights DBA Arabian Cafe at 8347 Roswell Road. Any discussion?
Mayor Paul.
Mr. Paulson.
I'm pleased to see we're getting more District 1 place to drink, so I'm in favor of this.
Yeah, we see where the priorities are. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. The question's on agenda item 2026-154, the approval of the alcoholic beverage license application for Arabian Nights doing business as Arabian Cafe at 8347 Roswell Road. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The item is approved. The clerk will please read the next item.
This is agenda item number 2026-155. Consideration of a resolution to appoint a member to the City of Sandy Springs Planning Commission. That's Jay O'Meara to fill the unexpired term of Elizabeth Kelly. Presented by Mayor Rusty Paul.
Ms. Kelly resigned from the board. She had some personal issues that she felt she needed to deal with. That's a real loss. She was a very able and conscientious member of the Planning and Zoning Commission. When we started the city, Mayor Galambos was very attuned to making sure there was a balance between people who represented neighborhoods and the homeowners and so on, and people who were involved in the real estate world. Over the years, we have drifted away from having very many people who work in the real estate market and real estate area on the commission, and I felt it was very important that we begin to get some of that balance back. Mr. O'Meara he's not a developer, but he is involved with the commercial real estate market here in Sandy Springs. He lives in Mr. Chinsky's district. He does a lot of work in the perimeter market as far as just, helping folks find space and so on there. So after reviewing his credentials and qualifications, I am very excited to present to your consideration Jay O'Meara to fill the unexpired term of Elizabeth Kelly. With that, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor Paul.
Mr. Paulson.
I move approval of agenda item 2026-155, appointing a member of the Sandy Springs Planning Commission, Jay O'Meara, to fill the unexpired term of Elizabeth Kelly.
Motion by Mr. Paulson. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Chinsky. Any discussion?
Mayor Paul.
Mr. Paulson.
Just a note, Miss Kelly was a sharp gal.
Yeah.
Smart lady, very intuitive. She contributed a lot. I was on a couple of boards with her, and boy, she'll be missed. She was very
Yeah,
sharp.
I hate it, but I understood from the personal issues that she was dealing with that I fully understood it. So she is going to be a loss on that board. So any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. The question is on agenda item 2026-155, a resolution appointing a member to the City of Sandy Springs Planning Commission. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The item is approved. The clerk will please read the next item.
This is agenda item number 2026-156. Consideration of a resolution to approve a renewal to the license agreement with Microsoft and to authorize the city manager to execute the license agreement. This is presented by TJ Martin, IT Help Desk and System Administration Manager.
Mr. Martin.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, city staff recommends that the mayor and council approve the renewal of the city's Microsoft Enterprise Enrollment Agreement and to authorize the city manager to sign the necessary documents to maintain the city's Microsoft licensing coverage. So the city has had an agreement with Microsoft since 2006, and that licensing has expanded over time to meet the city's operational and technological needs. Today, this license supports core functions such as email, document creation and collaboration, security, server infrastructure, device management, reporting, and communications. Because the current agreement has reached the end of its term, we're requesting renewal to avoid any interruptions in coverage or loss of access to these essential tools. This renewal is being processed through the city's existing technology vendor, SHI International, under Microsoft state and local government licensing programs and covers this period from May 1st, 2026 through April 30th, 2027. Because the annual cost exceeds the city manager's purchasing authority, this item is being presented to the mayor and council for approval and to provide transparency regarding the city's ongoing technology licensing cost. So the total annual renewal cost for this agreement is $277,619.22, with $46,269.87 charged the remaining months of FY26, and the remaining $231,349.35 will be charged to FY27, contingent on the adoption of the FY27 budget on June 16th, 2026. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
You've heard the report of the IT Help Desk and Systems Administrator Manager. What's the desire of council?
Mayor Paul.
Go ahead.
I move that we
Ms. Mueller.
approve Agenda Item 2026-156, the approval of a resolution to approve a renewal of the license agreement with Microsoft and to authorize the city manager to execute the license agreement.
We have a motion by Ms. Mueller. Is there a second? Motion by Ms. Mueller, seconded by Mr. Paulson, that we approve Agenda Item 2026-156, a renewal of the license agreement with Microsoft and authorizing city manager to execute the license agreement. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. The question is on Agenda Item 2026-156, a resolution approving a renewal of the license agreement with Microsoft and authorizing city manager to execute the license agreement. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The item is approved. Clerk, please read the next item.
This is agenda item number 2026-157. Consideration of a resolution to authorize approval of a Georgia Power relocation agreement for the S2 185 Lake Forest Sidewalk Phase 2 project, presented by Public Works Director Marty Martin.
Mr. Martin.
Mayor and council, tonight I bring to you a relocation agreement with the Georgia Power Company to relocate some 10 poles on Lake Forest Drive as a part of the Lake Forest Sidewalk project. In this case, the Phase 2 of the Lake Forest Sidewalk project will construct approximately 3,300 linear feet of sidewalk on the west side of Lake Forest Drive from the city limits to 4822 Lake Forest, and then from 25 Pine Lake Drive to 4990 Lake Forest Drive. Per the city's franchise agreement with Georgia Power Company, the city will bear, since it is a sidewalk project within the right-of-way, the city would bear 90% of the cost for the relocation of the poles in question, with the Georgia Power covering the remaining 10%. So with that, I bring before you an agreement tonight to move those poles with a cost to the city of $271,700. There is sufficient funding within the T-Splost sidewalk program to fund this relocation agreement.
You've heard the report of the Public Works Director. What's the desire of council?
Mayor Paul,
Mr. Chinsky.
I move approval of Agenda Item 2026-157, a resolution to authorize approval of a Georgia Power relocation agreement for the S2185 Lake Forest Sidewalk Phase 2 project.
Motion by Mr. Chinsky. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Ford. Any discussion?
Mayor Paul.
Mr. Chinsky.
So Marty, I'm going to ask you the question that I've gotten asked the most by far by constituents so far, which is when is this project going to get underway with construction and when will it be completed?
So in the case we talked about right-of-way a little bit ago, so in 2 weeks, the final new property owner on Lake Forest Drive, they haven't been delaying us, they just don't own the house yet, will acquire a home on Lake Forest Drive per our schedules and everything I've seen as we've been tracking this one. Once they close, I think we're in agreement with them on what they need from the city and what the city can do on their property. We'll then be able to get that final agreement. So we're going to put the project out for construction here in the next 2 weeks in the interest of getting it out for bids, doing that. With this relocation agreement as well tonight, that other piece falls into place, and we believe we're ready to go. So
If you have any hiccups, I will personally get involved and help. Just call me.
you bet.
Thank you.
So-
Any other discussion? Mr. Paulson.
Mayor Paul, point of clarification. Georgia Power's not doing the work here?
They are.
Oh, they
Yes,
are.
sir. Or
'Cause they're
it'll
gonna
be
put out the
them
bid.
or a contractor working for Georgia Power.
And we bid that?
They bid it. They do it.
I think what he's referring to is the contractor to build the sidewalk is what would be bid. Yeah.
So the utility relocations, Georgia Power takes care of. So it's their facility. They move it, whether they hire say, Pike Engineering or somebody to do that, or they do it with their own crews.
Unclear then. This says the total estimated cost to relocate the existing distribution facility is $310,000, and we pay 90% of it. Is that the
Yes, sir.
sidewalk, or is that the
That's
power part of this?
that's the power poles.
Okay, but we're not bidding that. They're
No,
bidding
sir.
that.
They do that. Georgia Power do that.
Mr. Roberts.
Being Georgia Power has been kind of holding back on moving some other poles. Is this going to be a problem here?
Well, we're used to poles taking a little while to get out of the way on sidewalk projects. And so much like maybe you saw we have had to do on Roswell Road at just above Lake Placid,
we have a way to, we can get most of the project built for that until that last 10%, the poles finally get out of the way. We call them blockouts.
Yeah.
In most cases, we can work around, contractor can get grade, put in curb and gutter, whatever else is
Yeah.
needed to do.
Marty, I'm referring to the one on Mount Vernon that's sitting right in the middle of the street.
Right. Oh, that's,
And they haven't done anything with that yet.
and we're still accepting as we speak tonight,
Yeah.
conduit, so that the other folks that are on those or on those poles over there can start to get underground into the new underground pipe. This gets a little less complicated. It's, in this case, this is a new pole, take the facilities off of one pole and move it over to the other. But it's 3 or 4 parties sequentially as they do that. So Georgia Power sets the new poles, they'll pull their power over. Then Comcast moves over. Then AT&T moves over. And then finally, if nobody else is on it, Georgia Power pulls the pole.
Doesn't Georgia Power have priority on moving the power pole itself, the power from the pole to another pole?
Well, so when they set the new pole, they're up there first. They're always on top, so to speak. You see the new pole get set.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. The question is on agenda item 2026-157, a resolution authorizing approval of Georgia Power relocation agreement for the S2185 Lake Forest Drive Phase 2 project. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The item is approved. Moving to mayor and council reports, we've continued to meet on the service delivery strategy. The managers have met in the last week. We've narrowed it down to about 3 issues, as I recall. Basically, it's the water issue between the City of Atlanta and City of Sandy Springs, animal control for certain cities, and then the jail. How the jail is going to be operated and basically what service is going to be provided from the jail is as much an issue as anything else. Since the sheriff has notified us that he is no longer accepting misdemeanor cases. So that's created quite a challenge and a problem for many cities in Fulton County as to what to do with people who need to be incarcerated, but the sheriff's not accepting them. So those are the major issues left to be resolved. Mediation will have to start by the 25th of June. I know that falls right in the middle of GMA, so a lot of things going on at that time, but that's the most important thing that we can be involved in right now. City Manager, anything you want to add to that?
No, we had a very good meeting yesterday with the managers group, which we've continued to meet throughout the process to try to keep us moving forward. We're now at the stage of submitting our agreements. Each municipality has been asked to submit agreements that they have between other municipalities and or between themselves and the county. They are not, DCA is not interested in receiving agreements that we may have with private providers. So we are in the process here in Sandy Springs of pulling all that information together and starting to submit that. And then next week, as you mentioned, we will have our next meeting with the Board of Commissioners and to further discuss those final items.
Those meetings are public and they're also streamed live and they're also archived so that you can, if you can't see them live, you can go back and take a look at it. This is one of the most important things we do every 10 years is look at who's providing what services and who's paying for them. The purpose is to make sure there's no duplication of services and that there's no double taxation. In other words, you're not paying for the same service multiple times. So it's a very important process, and we're running up against some tight deadlines. So that's all I've got. Does anybody else? Dr. Kelly.
Yes, thank you. Since our last meeting, the Next 10 Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee held our first meeting. I'll start by giving a shout out to the team of consultants as well as our internal community development team, I believe led by Michelle McIntosh Ross, did a wonderful job of organizing it. Full disclosure, it was good. It exceeded my expectations, so I'll say that much. We covered a few things. This is going to be one of 4 meetings. If I'm not mistaken, it's also public as well. So that meeting is housed somewhere on our website or YouTube or something. Okay. One piece of business we did conduct, and it was really hard and very competitive to decide who the chair of our advisory committee was. You know, it was a tough decision, but we eventually settled on Rhonda Smith. So I want to congratulate you on that esteemed position you now hold. Also, last Thursday, I had my monthly live community engagement forum, which is also housed on YouTube. And we heard from Jessica Corbett of the Fulton County External Affairs. She gave us the most thorough just overview of each and every service that Fulton County provides for the city. So if that is something that interests you, please go and check it out. It was really awesome. That being said, also, I just got word from MARTA that we might get an upgraded bus stop servicing North Springs High School. So it's kind of a big deal. Thank you.
Ms. Mueller?
So I just want to remind everybody that Food That Rocks is this Thursday, right? So come on out and have some food and fun.
And we have a concert coming up on the 12th.
12th, and we have Starship.
Starship. A lot of fun. Ms. Ford.
Just a couple things. One is that I believe it was yesterday, Monday, that the applications for the Citizens Leadership Academy opened. And so that is a great program. Many of us up here have participated in that. Also, I want to thank the fire department for the announcement about the open house or the community meeting for the new fire station in District 5. I believe that is on Monday, June 15th. And then finally, about the comprehensive plan, yes, Dr. Kelly, that recording is available online. I listened to it. And I understand that we have the first public meeting for the comprehensive plan on June 23rd. And that will be, we'll have announcements about that soon. Thank you.
Mr. Chinsky.
So piggybacking on Councilmember Ford's comments on the Citizens Leadership Academy, I saw an article I wanted to note for everybody that apparently the city of Tucker has created a youth city council. And I know that our Citizens Leadership Academy is geared more towards adults, but maybe something to think about in the coming year. I'll also, as some of my colleagues note I had the chance to go up to Morgan Falls to the fields this past weekend. Even though the spring season is done, there are all-star leagues in the summer, and we were going to support some of my kids' friends. And there was a couple questions in our last budget session about what is the millions of dollars that we're allocating for on the fields, and are they really used? So I will tell you, the parking lot was overflowed. There was not enough spaces for all the kids and families that were there. There were teams from Alpharetta, NYO, Brookhaven, Sandy Springs, even farther away. But unfortunately, because of all the rain that we were having, the upper fields were unplayable. Those are the ones that still have dirt on the infields. They had to actually cut out games because they were unplayable. The lower fields that have turf were fine. The drainage worked. So as we're spending this money on turf, it's money well spent because these fields will be used very often, and otherwise they can't with some of the rain we get. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Thank you. All right. We do staff reports. Anything? All right. We do need an executive session tonight for the purposes of real estate and litigation.
Mayor Paul.
Mr. Paulson.
I move that we suspend regular order and move into executive session for the purposes of real estate and litigation.
Mr. Paulson moves that we cease regular order and move to executive session. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Roberts. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. The question's on the executive session. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. We are in executive session. There'll be no further business conducted this evening. We'll simply return from the executive session to this room and reconvene and then immediately adjourn. Thank you.